Welcome. Welcome to the seventh lecture of probability theory. In the last lecture, we have seen some of the theoretical part of conditional probability and we will be continuing it. Let us see. Practical steps involved in the calculation of conditional probability. Whenever we talk about conditional probability, naturally the Venn diagrammatic approach may be looking somewhat like this. The first step is to be done is treat one event as A and another event as B. Calculate the probability of happening of both the given events together and treat it as a numerator as follows. This Venn diagram, we have seen it earlier even when we were discussing addition theorem of probability. So there is nothing new in this Venn diagram approach, right? And we have seen some of the tabulated part even. Put it in a matrix form, row wise it is event A, column wise it is event B. Row wise event A means it is probability of A, in the next row it would be probability of A complement, column wise it would be probability of B and probability of B complement. Naturally, in between of everything, it is nothing but intersection. So probability of A against probability of B, wherever that juncture makes a point, and that point it is probability of A intersection of B. Similarly, probability of A and probability of B complement becomes probability of A intersection of B complement. Same way, against the probability of A complement and probability of B, it becomes probability of A complement intersection of B. And the fourth one becomes against A complement and against B complement, it comes to probability of A complement intersection of B complement. I'm saying it little faster as we have seen it. We have seen it earlier. Now think of probability of A intersection of B. How one can get it? Using an addition theorem, probability of A intersection of B is nothing but probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A union B. What is shifting right hand side? Probability of A intersection of B complement. Look, probability of A intersection of B complement means just view that Venn diagram, that will show you which area we are talking about. That area is nothing but probability of A minus probability of A intersection of B. This is what we have discussed earlier too. The third point, probability of A intersection A complement intersection of B. This area is nothing but probability of B minus probability of A intersection of B. And the fourth area is probability of A complement intersection of B complement can be found any one of these three different ways. Directly can be used as complementary as 1 minus probability of A union B, or the similar area can be found as probability of A complement minus probability of A complement intersection of B, or it can be found as probability of B complement minus probability of A intersection of B complement. I personally request you that you don't have to mug it up, just feel free. Once you draw a diagram, everything will be clear in front of you, right? Step number 3. Treat the probability of happening of a known event as denominator. Now both the things are being taken care of, numerator and denominator. Calculate the conditional probability as probability of happening both the events together divided by probability of happening of a known event. If you put it in a notational format, probability of B where A is already occurred. As I said it earlier, this is nothing but probability of whatever before and after the slash is its intersection. Here before and after the slash is A and B. So A intersection of B. So probability of A intersection of B would generate numerator divided by probability of whatever left hand side after the slash is. That means it is probability of A. Fine enough. Similarly, probability of A where B had already occurred. Again the same thing, probability of A intersection of B divided by, after the slash now it is B, so divided by it is probability of B. Fine enough? Okay. Now probability of A intersection of B is needed in this case. As we know that probability of A intersection of B can be found in two different ways, using addition theorem as probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A union B, or it can be found using some complementary. So probability of A intersection of B is nothing but 1 minus probability of A complement union of B complement. Let us see third and fourth. Probability of B complement where A had already occurred. Same logic. Whatever may be the before and after the slash is intersection of that. In this case it is B complement and A. Intersection of A and B complement will generate numerator, and whatever may be the event after slash, in this case it is A, that will generate denominator. So this would be probability of A intersection of B complement divided by probability of A. The fourth case, probability of B where A had already occurred. That is nothing but probability of A intersection of B divided by probability of, that we have seen it earlier. Fine. Now for that we may need probability of A intersection of B complement. Probability of A intersection of B complement is nothing but probability of A minus probability of A intersection of B. That one can get it from a Venn diagram or that matrix format. And probability of B complement is nothing but 1 minus probability of B. Probability of B where A complement already occurred. Same logic is to be applied. Probability of A complement intersection of B divided by probability of A complement. Same is the case number 6. Probability of A complement intersection of, where B had already occurred. That means again it is probability of A complement intersection of B divided by probability of B. Now in this case we may need probability of A complement intersection of B. From that tabulated form or matrix form or from a Venn diagrammatic form, one can get probability of A complement intersection of B as probability of B minus probability of A intersection of B, and probability of A complement is nothing but 1 minus probability of A. It is that simple. Last two cases. Probability of B complement where A complement already occurred. Logically, probability of A complement intersection of B complement divided by probability of A complement. Fine enough? Same is the case with probability of A complement where it is given that B complement occurred. So this is again the same logic is to be applied. Probability of A complement intersection of B complement divided by probability of B. Now in this case one may need probability of A complement intersection of B complement. How one can get it? Which is nothing but 1 minus probability of A union B. Probability of A complement can be found as 1 minus probability of A. Probability of B complement can be found as 1 minus probability of B. The note is very simple. Probability of happening of a known event always appears as denominator. Right? Some complementary relationship. There are some complementary relationships here. Probability of B where A already occurred and probability of B complement where A had already occurred. Look, in this case complement is with before the slash event. Before the slash event is B, before the slash event is B complement. If they are in a complementing form and after the slash things are same, they become complementary to each other. To remember it, this can be the thumb rule. Right? Okay. Second one, probability of A where B had already occurred and probability of A complement where B had already occurred. Look, after the slash B's are common and before of slash whatever it is, they are in a complementary form. So this becomes a complementary event to each other. Right? The same logic is used in the third case and same logic is used in the fourth case. Just observe it. Now, as I said, it complementary. What do you mean by that? Where we are going to use it? probability of B where A had already occurred, this is nothing but 1 minus probability of B complement where A had already occurred. Means we can put it in a form of 1 minus. Just observe it off, everything will be clear to you. Right? Same logic is applied in all the cases. Just observe it. Now let us have some of the examples using all these tactics. A and B are two events such that probability of A is 0.25, probability of B is 0.15 and probability of A union B is 0.30. Find the value of the first one. Probability of A intersection of B, probability of B where A had already occurred, probability of A where B already occurred. Let us see. Second one is probability of A intersection of B complement, probability of B complement where A had already occurred, probability of A where B complement occurred. Third one, probability of A complement intersection of B, probability of B where A complement occurred, probability of A complement where B occurred. And the fourth one is probability of A complement intersection of B complement and probability of B complement where it is given that A complement occurred, probability of A complement where it is given that B complement occurred. Look, this many different things are to be found of. And we have three different probabilities with us. Probability of A, probability of B and probability of A union B. Fine enough. When these three elements are with us, we can get the fourth element, A intersection of B. So probability of A intersection of B is nothing but probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A union B. By putting it in a simplified form, we will get 0.10. Now all four elements are with us, right? Fine enough. Now the second part of A, probability of B where A already occurred. This one can put it as intersection of after and before slash, whatever may be the event. We have to put it in an intersectional form. So probability of A intersection of B divided by whatever after the slash is. After the slash it is A. So divided by it is probability of A. Fine enough? Okay. Now as we know that probability of A intersection of B is 0.10 and probability of A is 0.25. Simplifying it, it comes to 2 upon 5. So probability of B where A had already occurred becomes 2 upon 5. Let us suppose that sequence gets changed. Now our intention is to get probability of A where B already occurred, which B occurred first and then after A is occurring. Logic will remain same, which is nothing but probability of whatever is after and before the slash, intersection of that. So probability of A intersection of B divided by whatever after the slash is. After the slash it is B, so divided by it is probability of B. Now both these probabilities are known to us. 0.10 divided by 0.15 comes to 2 by 3. Right? This is how we have to calculate B, C and D. Let us see it. Probability of A intersection of B complement. We have seen it with the Venn diagram and that matrix format, which is nothing but probability of A minus probability of A intersection of B. Now both these probabilities are known to us, 0.25 and 0.10. So it comes to 0.15. The second of B is probability of B complement where A already occurred. Logically it is probability of A intersection of B complement divided by probability of A. Both the probabilities are known to us, 0.15 divided by 0.25, simplifying it, it comes to 3 upon 5. The third element of C, the required probability is probability of A where B complement occurred. By formula it is probability of A intersection of B complement divided by probability of B complement. Look, here it is B complement. Because after the slash it is in a complement form, so here it will be probability of B complement. Okay. Probability of A intersection of B complement is known to us. That is what we have found it. 0.15 divided by probability of B complement. Probability of B complement is nothing but 1 minus probability of B. Probability of B is known to us. So it is 0.15 divided by 0.85, which comes to 3 by 17, and that becomes our ultimate answer. Now the same logic is to be used with C and D only. C, probability of A complement intersection of B, which is probability of B minus probability of A intersection of B. Both these probabilities are known to us, 0.15, 0.10. Differentiating it, what we'll get would be 0.05. Second of C, probability of B where A complement already occurred. So probability of B intersection of A complement divided by probability of A complement. Probability of B intersection of A complement is known to us, which is 0.05 divided by probability of A complement. Probability of A complement is nothing but 1 minus probability of A. So it is 1 minus 0.25 becomes 0.75. So 0.05 divided by 0.75, simplifying it, it comes to 1 upon 15. Probability, next one is probability of A complement where it is given that B already occurred. So this comes to probability of A complement intersection of B divided by probability of B. Probability of A complement intersection of B, that is what we found it, which is 0.05 divided by probability of B. Probability of B is 0.15. Simplifying it, it comes to 1 upon 3. D. Probability of A complement intersection of B complement. Both of them are in a complementing form. The reverse form can be used of. So it is nothing but 1 minus probability of A union B. A union B is already known to us. 1 minus 0.3 becomes 0.7. Probability of B complement where it is given that A complement already happened. By formula, it is probability of A complement intersection of B complement divided by probability of A complement. Probability of A complement is nothing but 1 minus probability of A. So it is 0.70 divided by 1 minus 0.25 becomes 0.75. Simplifying it, it comes to 14 by 15. Similarly, probability of A complement where it is given that B complement already occurred. By formula, it is probability of A complement intersection of B complement divided by probability of B complement. Probability of B complement is nothing but 1 minus probability of B. So 0.70 divided by 1 minus 0.15 comes to 0.85. So 0.70 divided by 0.85 comes to 14 by 17, and that becomes our ultimate answer. Let us have a few more examples. A and B are two events such that probability of A complement is 0.75, probability of B complement is 0.85, and probability of A complement union of B complement is 0.9. Find the value of probability of A intersection of B, probability of B where A already occurred, and probability of A where it is given that B already occurred. One by one. Probability of A complement, B complement, and probability of A complement union of B complement is given to you. From these three different units, three more units can be found of. Probability of A complement is given. So probability of A can be found. 1 minus probability of A complement is probability of A. So 1 minus 0.75 comes to 0.25. Similarly, probability of B is 1 minus probability of B complement. B complement is given to you. 1 minus 0.85, it comes to 0.15. Fine enough. Now probability of A complement union of B complement is given to you, and our interest is to get probability of A intersection of B. Probability of A intersection of B is nothing but 1 minus probability of A complement union of B complement. That is already given, 0.9. So 1 minus 0.9 comes to 0.10. So 0.10 becomes probability of A intersection of B, which becomes the answer of first A. Right? Now think of B. Probability of B where A already occurred. By formula, it is probability of A intersection of B divided by probability of A. Probability of A intersection of B we have found just now, which is 0.10, divided by probability of A, which is known to us, which is 0.25. So 2 upon 5 becomes the answer. Third one, probability of A where it is given that B already occurred. Probability of A intersection of B divided by probability of B. It comes by formula. Both the probabilities are known to you. 0.10, 0.15. Just make a ratio of those two and that ratio becomes 2 by 3 and that becomes answer of C. Is it clear? I hope everything is clear. Let us have one more example. A and B are two events such that probability of A is 0.25, probability of B is 0.15 and probability of B where A already occurred is 0.40. Find the value of A intersection of B, probability of A where B already occurred, and the third one, probability of A union B. Okay. Probability of B where A already occurred is nothing but probability of A intersection of B divided by probability of A, of which two of them are known to you. Naturally, you will get the third one. Probability of B where A already occurred is given to you as 0.40. Probability of A is given to you as 0.25. The only third thing left is probability of A intersection of B. So probability of A intersection of B is simply by putting some left hand side and right hand side criteria, it comes to 0.40 multiplied by 0.25 comes to 0.10 and that becomes the answer of probability of A intersection of B. Now think of B. Probability of A where B already occurred. By formula it is probability of A intersection of B divided by probability of B. Both the probabilities are known to you. 0.10 divided by 0.15. Simplifying it, it comes to 2 by 3. The third thing which they ask about is probability of A union B. By addition formula, it is probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection of B. All these three probabilities are with you, 0.25, 0.15 and 0.10. Put it in a formula, simplify it, you will get the answer, which is 0.30. It is that simple. What they may ask, they may give you certain probabilities and naturally by using it they may ask the fourth component. That's it. One more example. In a certain college, 25% students failed in physics, 15% students failed in chemistry, and 30% students failed in at least one of the subjects is selected at random. Find the probability that there are plenty of examples in this case. First one, he failed in both physics and chemistry. Or the same question can be asked as he passed neither in physics nor in chemistry. Fine enough. First of all, let us put all this data in a Venn diagrammatic form. That will make it more clear to you. If you put it in a Venn diagrammatic form, P, let us suppose event P is student failed in physics and C is student failed in chemistry. Look, here we have taken as failed, not the past, right? Okay. If you put it in a Venn diagrammatic format, everything will be clear to you. Just denote each and every component. The first component is probability of P intersection of C complement, which is nothing but probability of P minus probability of P intersection of C. 0.25, 0.10 becomes 0.15. The middle part, which is common, probability of P intersection of C is nothing but probability of P plus probability of C minus probability of P union C. All these probabilities are known to you, which is 0.25, 0.15 minus 0.30, which comes to 0.10. Right hand side, the third component, probability of P complement intersection of C, which is probability of C minus probability of P intersection of C. 0.15, 0.10 deducted 0.05. Fine enough. And the fourth component, which is outside of the hood region, is probability of P complement intersection of C complement is nothing but 1 minus probability of P union C. Probability of P union C is 0.30, so 1 minus 0.30 becomes 0.70. Now all the probabilities are with you. Now let us put it in a particular format, one after another. The first one, what they need is probability of failing in physics and failing in chemistry. connector is AND, intersection is needed. So it is probability of P intersection of C, which is nothing but probability of P plus probability of C minus probability of P union C. All these probabilities are with you as you kept it in a Venn diagrammatic format. Now every probability is with you right now. Put it together, 0.25, 0.15 minus 30 becomes 0.10. That becomes answer of first. The second one is probability of P, where C already occurred. What do you mean by this? Find the probability. The second question is something like this. Find the probability that a person failed in physics where it is given that he failed in chemistry. Simple. Again, by putting it in a formulatic format, probability of P intersection of C divided by probability of C. Both the probabilities are known to you. 0.10 divided by 0.15 becomes 2 by 3. Third one, probability of failing in chemistry given that he failed in physics, which is probability of P intersection of C divided by probability of P. Both the probabilities are known to you, 0.10, 0.25. Simplified, it comes to 2 upon 5. Now, the fourth item was probability of a person failed in physics but passed in chemistry. Now, passed in chemistry means it is complement. Two things are there, failed in physics and passed in chemistry. So required probability is probability of P intersection of C complement. As we know that which is this area, as you can see it with the Venn diagrammatic form. So probability of P intersection of C complement is nothing but probability of P minus probability of P intersection of C. Now both these probabilities are known. It is 0.25 and 0.10. By deducting it, it comes to 0.15. Probability of failing in physics but passing in chemistry. It is given that he passed in chemistry. Fine enough. Use a formula. So probability of P intersection of C complement divided by probability of C complement. Probability of P intersection of C complement, that is what we have found it in D itself, which is 0.15 divided by probability of C complement. Probability of C complement is 1 minus probability of C. 1 minus probability of C is 0.15. So 1 minus 0.15 is 0.85. So 15 upon 85 becomes 3 upon 17. The next probability to be found is probability of a person passed in chemistry where it is given that he is failed in physics. Fine enough. Put it in a notational form as probability of C complement where it is given that P occurred, that means failed in physics. If you put it in a formulatic form, it comes to probability of P intersection of C complement divided by probability of P. Both the probabilities are known to us, 0.15 divided by 0.25. Simplifying it, it comes to 3 upon 5. Clear? Probability of, the next question is probability of passed in physics and failed in chemistry. Connector is AND, so intersection is to be found of. So probability of P complement intersection of C is needed. This one can get it as one of the component from a Venn diagram. That is nothing but probability of C minus probability of P intersection of C. Both the probabilities are known to us, 0.15, 0.10. Deduct it, you will get 0.05. Similarly, probability of failing in chemistry where it is given that he passed in physics. So probability of C oblique P complement in a routine form, formula becomes probability of P complement intersection of C divided by probability of P complement, which is equal to 0.05 divided by 1 minus probability of P. Probability of P is known to us, which is 0.25. So 1 minus 0.25 is 0.75. So 0.05 divided by 0.75 comes to 1 upon 15. Similarly, probability of passing in physics where it is given that he failed in chemistry, right? So probability of P complement where it is given that C occurred, that if you put it in notational form it comes to probability of P complement intersection of C divided by probability of C. Both the probabilities are known to you. 0.05 divided by 0.15, simplifying it, it comes to 1 upon 3. The next probability is probability of person passed in physics as well as passed in chemistry as well as, that means and means intersection. So probability of P complement intersection of C complement is needed. That one can get it as 1 minus probability of P union C. This is known to us. 1 minus 0.3 becomes 0.7. Right? Okay. The next one, probability that a person passed in physics, where it is given that he passed in chemistry. So probability of P complement where it is given that C complement. If you put it in a formulaic form, it comes to probability of P complement intersection of C complement divided by probability of C complement. Probability of C complement can be found as 1 minus probability of C. So 0.70 divided by 1 minus 0.15 comes to 0.85. So by simplifying it, it comes to 14 upon 17. Next is probability of a person passed in chemistry where it is given that he passed in physics. Same logic. Probability of P complement intersection of C complement divided by probability of P complement. So 0.70 divided by 1 minus probability of P. Probability of P is 0.25. So 1 minus probability of P means 1 minus 0.25 becomes 0.75. So it is 0.70 divided by 0.75. Simplifying it, it comes to 14 upon 15. Is it clear now? All the possible permutation and combinations we have taken care of. Let us have one more example. A box of 100 gaskets contains 10 gaskets with type A defect, 5 gaskets with type B defect, and 2 gaskets with both type of defects. Find the probability that a gasket to be drawn has type B defect under the condition that it has a type A defect. And the second one is a gasket to be drawn has no type B defect under the condition that it has no type A defect. Okay, put everything in a formulaic form. That will make everything clear. Probability of A. 10 gaskets are there which are having A type defect, right? So that is nothing but 10 out of 100. So 10 divided by 100 gives us probability of type A defect. Similarly, probability of type B defect comes to 5 upon 100, which is 0.05. And 2 gaskets with both types of defect, both means connector is and, connector is and means it is intersection. So probability of A intersection of B is 0.02. Okay. Now, what is needed? A gasket to be drawn has a type B defect. That means probability of B under the condition that it has a type A defect. That means probability of B where A already occurred is to be found out. We know that formula, probability of A intersection of B divided by probability of A. Now both these probabilities are known to you. 0.02 divided by 0.1, simplifying it, it comes to 0.2. That becomes answer of first. Second one, a gasket to be drawn has no type B defect, okay, under the condition that it has no type A effect. So actually the requirement is probability of B complement where it is given that A complement occurred. So by formula it is probability of A complement intersection of B complement divided by probability of A complement, for which we may need probability of A complement intersection of B complement. Right enough. As we know that probability of A complement intersection of B complement is nothing but 1 minus probability of A union B. A union B is already given to you. Probability of A union B, that is what we have found just now. 1 minus 0.13, which is 0.87. Simplified. While putting it in a ratio format, it comes to 29 by 30. And that becomes our ultimate answer. Right? Let us have one more example. A card is drawn from a pack of playing cards and then another card is drawn without the first being replaced. Okay. What is the probability of drawing two kings? Second one is first is king, second is queen. Two red card. First is red, second is black. Two spade. First is king of red color, second is queen of spade. And they are of alternatively different color. Fine enough. Here the word used is first being replaced. When I say cards are being replaced before the second draw, what do you mean by that? If they are replaced, then it becomes independent. Here the word used is without being replaced. When you don't replace it, that means event becomes dependent. Fine enough. Let us see one after another. First thing is two kings. Probability of drawing a king in the first attempt. How many kings are there? 4. So probability of A becomes 4 by 52. Now one king is already selected. So total number of cards left are 51. Kings left are 3. So while taking a second attempt, it comes to 3 upon 51. So that is nothing but probability of selecting second king where first king is already selected becomes 3 upon 51. Now the question was both cards drawn are kings. So ultimately what we require it is probability of A intersection of B. Probability of A intersection of B is nothing but probability of A multiplied by probability of B where A already occurred. So that is nothing but 4 by 52 multiplied by 3 by 51. Multiplying it comes to 12 by 2652. Simplifying it comes to 1 upon 221. And that probability comes to 0.0045. And that becomes answer of first. Let us see second. Probability of drawing a king in the first attempt. Just now we have seen it is 4 by 52. Probability of drawing a queen in the second attempt. Look, queen. Number of queens remains 4. But one card is drawn out. So total number of cards will be 51. So that probability of B where A already occurred becomes 4 by 51. So probability of first card being a king and second card being a queen is probability of A intersection of B, which is probability of A multiplied by probability of B where A already occurred, becomes 1 upon 13 multiplied by 4 by 51. Simplifying it, it comes to 0.006. The third possible probability of drawing a red card in the first attempt. How many red cards are there? There are 26 red cards. So naturally it is 26 by 52. Probability of drawing a red card in the second attempt, that first card drawn is red. So probability of B where A had already occurred. How many cards are left? Red cards are left 25. How many total cards are there? Remaining cards, there are 51. So it comes to 25 upon 51. So probability of both the cards are of red color is nothing but probability of A intersection of B, which is equal to probability of A multiplied by probability of B, where A already occurred. That means simply it is a product of these two probabilities. 26 upon 52 multiplied by 25 upon 51, simplifying it, it comes to 25 upon 102. More simplifying it, it comes to 0.245. Right? Next is probability of drawing a red card in first attempt, which is 26 by 52. That we have done it many a times earlier. Probability of drawing a black card in the second attempt. Look, number of black cards remain same. They would naturally it would be 26 only. But one card is drawn, so total number of cards is one less. So it is 52 minus 1, that means 51. So probability that first card is red and second card is black becomes probability of A intersection of B is equal to probability of A multiplied by probability of B, where A had already occurred. Simplifying it, it is 26 by 52 multiplied by 26 upon 51, which is equal to 13 upon 51. More simplifying it, it comes to 0.255. Next is probability of drawing a spade in the first attempt. How many spade cards are there? There are 13 spades cards. So probability of A becomes 13 upon 52. Probability of drawing a spade in the second attempt. How many spade cards are left now? There are 12. How many total number of cards left? There are 51. So it becomes 12 by 51. Probability that both the cards are spade is nothing but intersection. So probability of A intersection of B is probability of A multiplied by probability of B, where A already occurred. So 13 by 52 multiplied by 12 by 51, simplifying it, it comes to 3 by 51. 3 by 51 is nothing but 1 upon 17. Further simplifying it, it comes to 0.0588. Right? Probability of drawing a king of red color is probability of A, which is equal to how many kings are there of red color? There are 2, so it is 2 by 52. Probability of drawing a queen of spade. How many queen of spades are there? Only 1, so 1 upon 51. That becomes probability of B, where first card is already selected. So probability of first card is king of red color and second card is queen of spade is probability of A intersection of B, which is equal to probability of A multiplied by probability of B, where A already occurred. So it comes to 2 upon 52 multiplied by 1 upon 51, which is equal to 1 upon 1326. Further simplifying it, what we can get would be 0.00075. Probability of drawing first black card and second red card. They said that it should be of an alternate color. Alternate color means first is black, second is red, or first is red, second is black. Now whether this happen or this happen, that means connector is OR. Connector is OR means addition is to be done. Before that addition, that multiplication is to be done. Think of it. Let us do it independently. Probability of drawing the first black card. How many black cards are there? 26. Total cards are 52 in the first attempt. In the second attempt, how many red cards are there? There are 26. How many cards are left? 51. So it comes to 26 by 51. So simply A intersection of B is nothing but product of these two. By simplifying it, it comes to 13 upon 51. Right enough? Now, probability of drawing first red card and then after black card. Okay, first red card. Again, probability becomes 26 by 52. After selecting it, number of cards left are 51. How many of them are black in that? 26. So the second probability becomes 26 upon 51. Probability of A intersection of B comes to 26 upon 52 multiplied by 26 upon 51, which again comes to 13 upon 51. Now, What they ask is probability of they are of alternate color. So whether the first thing happens or the second thing happens, connector is OR. Since the connector is OR, addition is to be done. That is why 13 upon 51 plus 13 upon 51 comes to 26 upon 51, and that becomes the ultimate answer. Clear? Let us have one more example. 4 cards are drawn at random from a well-shuffled standard pack of 52 playing cards without replacement. Without replacement means dependent. Fine. What is the probability that they are all kings? They are king, queen, jack and ace. They are all of different shoots. They are of red color. They are of black color. They are face card. Face card means jack, queen and king. These are the 3 cards named as face card, right? They are numeric cards. Except face cards, whatever it is, they are called numeric cards. They all have the same value. Same value means, let us suppose in the first case it is 7, in the second 7, third 7 and fourth 7, right? Let us see it one after another. They are all kings. Probability of getting all kings. The first king is to be selected. How many kings are there? 4. How many cards are there? 52. So it is 4 by 52. After selecting this, what can be the next? It can be 3 by 51. After of that, it is 2 by 50. After of that, it would be 1 by 49. Make a product of everything. Simplifying it, it comes to 1 upon 2,70,725. That becomes the probability. The another probability is to be found as probability of a king, a queen, a jack and an ace. Okay. First, probability of getting a king 4 by 52. After selecting king, a queen 4 by 51. After selecting king and queen, jack 4 by 50. After selecting king, queen, jack becomes 4 by 49. Make a product of everything. That gives us 32 divided by 8,12,175, and that becomes the probability. The third probability which they asked is probability of cards of different shoots. Okay. First of all, 52 cards are there. First card is to be selected. Let us suppose any of the shoots are there. Total number of cards which we have are 52. So it comes to 52 by 52, right? Okay. Once the second card is to be selected, that shoot is to be deducted from it. That every shoot will have 13 cards. So those 13 cards are to be deducted. Now what we have is 39 cards. One card is already selected. So now it is 51. So 39 upon 51 becomes probability of second type of a shoot. After selecting second, again that shoot is to be deducted. So the next level comes to 26 by 50. The next level comes to 13 by 49. Product of everything, which is 2,197 divided by 20,825. Right? Probability of red colors. Okay, first card will be selected. How many red colored cards are there? 26. So first event would be 26 by 52. After that 25 by 51. After that 24 by 50. After that 23 by 49. Make a product of everything. That comes to 14,950 divided by 2,70,725. That becomes the probability. Probability of black colors will remain same because all the logic remains same. The first black card 26 upon 52. Second black card after selecting first one 25 upon 51. After selecting first 2 cards 24 by 50. After selecting first 3 cards 23 upon 49. Similarly, make a product of those 4 probabilities comes to 14,950 divided by 2,70,725. Now probability of 4 face cards. Okay, how many face cards are there? Jack, queen, king, and S. How many are there? 4 types and 4 shoots. So 16 upon 52. After selecting first one, the thing left 15 upon 51. After first 2 happens 14 upon 50. After first 3 happens, it comes to 13 upon 49. So it comes to 840 divided by 1,24,950. Clear? Probability of 4 numeric cards. How many numeric cards are there? 2 to 9. 2 to 9. That means total 9 numeric cards are there. So 9 multiplied by 4. So total number of cards which are called numeric card becomes 36. So the first numeric card can be found with the probability 36 upon 52. Next will be 35 upon 51. Next will be 34 upon 50. Next would be 33 divided by 49. Make a product of everything, that will give you 99 upon 455, and that is the required probability. Now this is very important. Probability of 4 cards having the same value. The first set, that means let us think of S. S one can get it. How many S are there? 4. 4 by 52. First S, 3 by 51. Second S, 2 by 51. Third S, and 1 by 49. Fourth S, so 1 upon 2,70,725 way, and that becomes the probability of getting an S. How many sets are there? Actually, there are 13 sets. So that would nothing be, it is 13 multiplied by the given probability. So 13 multiplied by 1 upon 2,70,725. Simplifying it, it comes to 1 upon 20,825. Right? This is a beautiful example. Next example. A bag contains 3 black, 4 white and 5 red balls. 2 balls are drawn in succession at random without replacement. Succession means one after another. Without replacement means naturally it is dependent. Find the probability that both balls drawn are black, both balls drawn are white, both ball draws are red, first is black and second is white, first is white and second is black, both of them are of same color, and one of my favorite, they are at alternatively of different colors. Probability of drawing a black ball in the first attempt is probability of A, which is equal to 3 upon 3 plus 4 plus 5. 3 plus 4 plus 5 is nothing but total number of balls, and numerator 3 is nothing but number of black balls available. They are favorable to it. So it comes to 3 by 12 and it comes to 1 by 4. Probability of drawing a second black ball given that first ball drawn is black. Now number of black balls left are 2 divided by total number of balls. Again they becomes 2 plus 4 plus 5. That 3 is reduced to 2 as one of the black is already taken. Simplifying it, it comes to 2 upon 11. Probability that both the balls drawn are black, that is nothing but probability of A intersection of B, which is probability of A multiplied by probability of B, where A already occurred. That means it is 1 upon 4 multiplied by 2 upon 11. Simplifying it, it comes to 1 upon 22. Right? Probability of drawing a white ball in the first attempt, that is probability of A is 4 upon 12 because number of white balls in the bag are 4. So it becomes 4 upon 12. Total number of balls are 12. So it becomes 4 upon 12, which is 1 upon 3. Probability of drawing a second white ball given that the first ball drawn is white. Again the same logic, 3 upon 3 plus 3 plus 5 becomes 3 upon 11. So probability that both the balls drawn are white. So probability of A intersection of B is probability of A multiplied by probability of B, where A already occurred, which is 1 upon 3 multiplied by 3 upon 11, which is 1 upon 11, which is the desired probability. Probability of drawing a red ball in the first attempt is 5 upon 12 because total number of red balls are 5 in the bag. Probability of drawing a second red ball given that the first ball drawn is red becomes 4 upon 3 plus 4 plus 5. So it comes to 4 by 11. So probability that both the balls drawn are red becomes probability of A intersection of B, which is probability of A multiplied by probability of B, where A already occurred, is 5 upon 12 multiplied by 4 by 11 becomes 20 by 132, which becomes 5 upon 33. Probability of drawing a black ball in the first attempt, 3 upon 12, because number of black balls in the bag are 3. Total number of balls are 12. Probability of drawing a white ball in the second attempt. White ball in the second attempt, given that first ball drawn is already a black ball. So probability of B, where A already occurred, is 4 upon 11. So probability of first ball being black and second ball being white is probability of A intersection of B is probability of A multiplied by probability of B, where A already occurred, which is 3 by 12 multiplied by 4 by 11, which is 12 upon 132, and which comes to 1 upon 11. Clear? Now probability of drawing a white ball in the first attempt, number of white balls are 4, total number of balls are 12, so it comes to 4 by 12, which is 1 by 3. Probability of drawing a black ball in the second attempt, given that first ball drawn is white, so probability of B, where A already occurred, becomes 3 upon 11. Probability that first ball being white ball and the second ball being a black ball becomes probability of A intersection of B is probability of A multiplied by probability of B, where A already occurred, is simply a product of these two probabilities, 1 upon 3 multiplied by 3 upon 11, which comes to 1 by 11. Right? It is simply a reciprocal of the last example. Probability that both the balls drawn are black, probability of both the balls drawn are black comes to 3 by 12 multiplied by 2 by 11, which is 6 upon 132. Probability that both the balls drawn are white, so it becomes 4 by 12 multiplied by 3 by 11 comes to 12 upon 132. And probability that both the balls drawn are red comes to 5 by 12 multiplied by 4 by 11, which comes to 12 upon 132. When the required probability is that both the balls should be of a same color, that means it can be black, it can be white, or it can be red. Means any one of these three. Any one of these three means connector is OR. Since the connector is OR, addition is to be done. So it comes to 6 by 132 plus 12 by 132 plus 20 upon 132, which is 38 by 132. And that is the required probability. They are of same color. The last one. This is that they should be of different color. Probability of first is black, second white, first black, second red, first white, second black, first white, second red, first red, second black, first red, second white. These are the different possibilities. Okay, find the probability. First is black, second is white. First is black means it is 3 by 12. Second is white means it is 4 by 11. I am saying it little with a speed just because of all this probability we have found it. So it is 3 by 12 multiplied by 4 by 11 comes to 12 by 132. First is black, second is red. 3 by 12 multiplied by 5 by 11 comes to 15 by 132. First is white, second is black. 4 upon 12 multiplied by 3 by 11 comes to 12 by 132. First is white, second is red. 4 by 12 multiplied by 5 by 11 comes to 20 upon 132. First is red, second is black. 5 by 12 multiplied by 3 upon 11, which is 15 upon 132. Probability of first is red, second is white. 5 by 12 multiplied by 4 by 11 comes to 20 upon 132. Now, they are of a different color, means any one of these six different possibility it may occur, right? Any one of these six, that means connector is OR, that is why it is to be added. So 12 upon 132, 15 upon 132, 12 upon 132, 20 upon 132, 15 upon 132 and 20 upon 132, all of them are being summed up. That sum comes to 94 upon 132 and simplifying it, it comes to 0.712. Right? Is it clear? Fine. Thank you. Thank you for today's time.